Hey guys, and welcome to Leaguecraft 101, episode 22. This episode will be talking about team fights for organized play. If you haven't already, I would suggest watching episode 4, Teamfighting, as it's assumed knowledge for this episode. As a quick recap, Direct Initiate is going in 1v5 or using your CC ability to force the fight or flight response from the enemy and start a fight. The next phase is Follow-up Initiate and Hit Tanks, which happen at the same time. Tanks use their follow-up initiation to force out cooldowns, while the carries stay back and hit the tanks until the follow-up initiations are used. Finally, after all the cooldowns are used, it's safe for the carries to either go deep and kill the backline, or to just continue hitting the tanks. So with this, let's get into the meat of the video. One of the most interesting things about League is the way it's shaped around cooldowns. It might be optimal to play one fight front to back, and then 1 minute later, it's optimal to dive because an enemy ADC has no flash. In this sense, it becomes very important to spell check every time you're preparing to fight. Can they TP flank? Does their ADC have flash? These things need to be taken into consideration before you fight. Here's a great example of why spell check is important.
So I mean, but I can TP in if you want to try to dive them, Scott. I can ult you rather.
You guys want to try?
I've got ult too.
Alright, let's fucking go, dude.
Dead.
Go forward.
Wait, I need help. Oh, I'm coming.
Backside. Gare in the back. Tower, can we finish? Fuck.
No, we can't. It's not even close.
Fuck, I didn't see the Gare in. That's my bad.
This fight would have been completely fine if we'd done a spell check beforehand. This is pretty much saying, if we dive when the minions crash, what are they going to do, and can we beat it? In this case, we all knew instinctively that Garen TP on the tower is not fast enough to defend the dive, and that Garen is top lane, so he'll be too slow to walk to get there. However, we didn't take into account the TP ward in front of the tower, and it led to Syndra instantly dying, and we got routed from behind. I'm looking, and its variants, such as can we turn, can we fight here, or I'm going when the ADC hits tower, are among the most important calls for competitive play. If you don't tell the team that you're looking for an engage and it flubs, the consequences can be catastrophic, even if the opportunity itself was good. So in this first example, you can see Impact on Galio is looking for an engage over the wall and finds a 4-man taunt, but Ori isn't there to follow up. With the engage flubbed, C9 back off and finish the Elder, and they end up being able to brute force engage to restart the teamfight, followed by a great ulti flash from Sneaky on Xayah. They end up winning the teamfight, but they could have wombo comboed the entire team if their communication was better, and Ori was ready to E-flash ulti when Galio went in. So generally the way I like to approach teamfights is we do a spell check and announce whether we're ready to fight, and whether we want to go front to back or dive, and who the important targets are. Again, the important thing is that the initiator announce when they're looking, so that everyone's ready when the engage goes off. This is especially important when walking through fog, so that if you do run into somebody, you can engage without hesitating, instead of hesitating and then they flash away. It's also important to call out big enemy cooldowns like Ori ult, so that your whole team doesn't instantly die to it.
I'm looking.
I'm
flashing.
Okay.
Be
careful of Ori, be careful of Ori. Close, I got it close to 1 HP, close to.
Front back.
Fraggers. I have a W in a second.
Careful. That's fine. That's good.
When a fight is going on, if you're diving mid-fight, it's very important to coordinate a backline dive. This is either asking if you can go to the backline, or coordinating the actual dive.
No, wait.
No, I don't think we should.
Can we catch Morgana?
Keep splitting.
No, catch her. I got her.
Yeah.
Kill him. I bladed him.
Careful.
Back up.
Back.
Yeah.
Go. Zack. Can we go backline?
I stopped his TP.
Can we go backline? Go backline.
Zack.
Switch. He's over here, he's in Viz. Kill Galio.
Go. Baron.
I think you guys can do Baron, yeah.
Admittedly, the comms are quite messy, but especially when the enemy has a hyper carry and you don't, this type of play becomes a lot more important, and mastering it even more so. So in this next team fight, the enemy gets an engage off, but we're able to disengage slightly, wait out the Twitch ult, and then restart the fight. Pay attention to the important call of play it slow, and then we can restart the fight.
They're backing off.
3 in the back. Twitch is there as well.
Okay, look,
Get
right
turret,
there.
get turret.
Tower.
Get turret.
Yeah, bottom, run on bottom. He's gonna look.
Tower. We can fight. We can fight. Just play slow.
Back up that switch ult.
Can we look to fight?
We're really spread, guys.
You got Twitch.
Yo, get back. Yo, you got this. Get it.
Cannon and Twitch in the back. Twitch in the
Yo,
back.
peel.
Nautilus.
Yo, can you follow him?
Yeah,
I'm
stop
following,
his
I'm
space. Stop his space.
Other important things to call out are when you're zoned, when you need help, or if you're fine. Calling out that you're zoned or you need help is important so that your tank line doesn't dive too hard. And calling out that you're fine when you're getting dived lets your team go for their backline without the risk of the carries getting slaughtered. Don't go silent when you die. Continue to contribute information, call out abilities, fight plans, and where people are coming from off screen, and so on. The final thing I'll say for teamfighting is to play for the team. KDA doesn't matter, and sacrificing yourself so the team can win is huge. This also doesn't mean that as the tank you go in and die every teamfight, because this is also incorrect. In this fight, we pick off the Garen playing stupidly and get to force an engage. We can make a play with the Rengar suiciding to get us an engage on 3 people.
Can we fight? Or no?
Yeah, we could try.
That's right. I'm covering the backside. Yo, can you get
all you?
Can you all me?
Did it work?
Kills you
Oh,
in,
it
kills you
did.
in.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it worked.
I'm gonna take the blasting plant.
Yeah, can you guys run it down?
Finally, let's look at a team fight where these ideas come together.
With exhaust, can we turn? Yeah, we can. Who's gonna flash with us?
I have flash.
I don't have flash.
Look at Sire. Okay, I'm going Sire.
I'm going on, Sire.
Go flash.
I'm killing Alistair.
Go Rumble.
Rumble. I ulted him away. Yeah, bet, just live.
We go.
Teamfighting in organized team play is very difficult, especially when trying to do coordinated dive plays. In particular for teamfighting, communication is the key. It's especially important for this part of the game that information is fed to the shot caller and questions are asked. So thanks for watching guys, remember to like and subscribe, and until next time, peace.